This video will change the way you look at life. True happiness and freedom start with a simple realization. We can control some things in life, while others are beyond our reach. Achieving peace within ourselves and success comes from acknowledging this truth and learning to separate the controllable from the uncontrollable. We have power over our thoughts, desires, and feelings because they stem from us. These are the areas that often cause us worry. We can choose our reactions and feelings about what happens internally. However, things like our physical appearance, our initial wealth, how others view us, and our social status are not in our hands. It's important to recognize that such elements are external and not our concern. Trying to control or change things we cannot influence only leads to discomfort. It's essential to focus on what we can control. These aspects are accessible to us and are unrestricted. However, the things we cannot control are our weak points, dependent on others or their actions. We must resist the urge to control these uncontrollable factors or to make others' problems our own, which leads to anger, stress, and a critical mindset. Focus on your priorities, consider only what is important to you, and accept that other people's problems are theirs, not yours. This approach will protect you from coercion and make you unstoppable. True freedom and success come from using your energy properly, not from blaming others or quarreling. Once you know your deep-seated fears, no one can force you into doing things you don't agree with. You become untouchable. However, this path is challenging. It might require you to let go of some desires completely and delay others. Accepting less wealth and influence might be essential for attaining real happiness and freedom. Start identifying things as mere appearances. Anytime you're feeling down, remind yourself that things aren't always as they appear. Reflect on what we discussed and think carefully about the situation. Ask yourself, is this related to things I can change or things beyond my control? It's important to not stress about things you can't change. Avoid worrying about the uncontrollable like illness, death, or misfortune, as it only leads to suffering for you and those around you. Instead, strive to form better habits in place of your existing desires and aversions. Stop allowing things beyond your control to constantly upset you. Rather, target and change unhealthy habits you can manage. Limit your desires. Longing for the unattainable always results in letdowns, causing you to ignore what is attainable. Indeed, there are times when we must do or not do certain things for good reasons, but this should be done with compassion, intelligence, and adaptability. Observe things as they actually are. Things rarely go as planned. Situations just occur. What causes people to act the way they do? Utilize everything at your disposal effectively. It's important to view things as they are, which can help you steer clear of false relations and unnecessary setbacks. Think about what or who makes you truly happy. Yet be aware that their intrinsic qualities may differ from your perceptions. Reflect on even the smallest thing you cherish. For instance, suppose you have a favorite mug. It's not the end of the world if it breaks. Now, think of a person or thing that deepens your sense of connection. Like when you embrace your child, spouse, or partner, remember you're interacting with a real individual. This understanding can prepare you to face even their death or loss. When something unexpected happens, the only thing you have power over is your response. You can choose to handle it gracefully or poorly. It's not the external events that upset us, but our own interpretations of them. It's not events that trouble us, but our thoughts about what they signify. Avoid jumping to conclusions or imagining scenarios that may not be true. Things and people are not always as we expect or perceive them to be. They simply exist as they are. Always make sure your actions match the reality of life. Don't try to create your own set of rules. Always adhere to nature's laws, whether in large public matters or small private ones. Striving for a life in sync with nature should be your primary aim. How can you achieve this? Through the everyday small acts, such as your routine tasks. It's essential to align these tasks, like bathing, with natural principles. Remember, it's not about what you do, but how you do it that brings alignment with nature and can lead to inner peace. Understand and apply this concept, especially during difficult times, as these challenges are part of a greater plan. If you embrace this, contentment will follow. Our desires and dislikes govern us, pushing us to pursue our wants and avoid what we dislike. It's natural to be disappointed when we don't get what we want and still feel unhappy when we do. However, you can avoid negative things that are under your control, ensuring you're not caught up in unwanted situations. It's not the experiences themselves that harm us, but our thoughts about them. Events and people don't directly hurt us. It's how we interpret them. Unhappiness stems from our thoughts and actions in response to these situations. Even the concept of death is not intrinsically scary. It is our thinking about it that instills fear. Consider the way you view death and other aspects of life. Are your beliefs true? How do they serve you? It's the fear of death and suffering we should fear, not the actual events. We can't control what happens to us, but we can choose our responses. Blaming others for feelings of shame or distress is irrational because our reactions are often worse than the actual events. Therefore, instead of pointing fingers during failures, challenges, or sickness, we should evaluate our own behaviors. Often, ungrateful people blame others for their difficulties, and most feel worse because of their own self-judgment. An individual who pursues a life of wisdom recognizes that assigning blame is unproductive, draining both time and energy. The gradual disappearance of guilt is an indicator of the beginning of moral development. When we reflect on our own actions and strive for self-improvement, the futility of accusations becomes evident. This process makes us less prone to react impulsively to emotional triggers that tempt us to seek straightforward solutions for naturally occurring events. Things are simply as they are, and the views of others hold no weight. Being free from guilt and shame preserves one's integrity. Relying on the approval of others is not advisable because their admiration doesn't hold real value. True worth must come from within you, not from external validation or the opinions of others. Even loved ones may not always share your passions or viewpoints. Stand strong on your own merits. Building a reputation on your own is what truly matters. Associating with remarkable people won't automatically bring you personal success. You have responsibilities. Focus on fulfilling them with dedication and ignore whether people notice or not. Engage in meaningful work without waiting for applause or approval. You can't borrow excellence from others. They have their own achievements, just as you have yours. What truly counts? How you utilize the advice, tools, and opportunities you encounter. Do you have books? Invest time in reading and reflecting on them. If you know something well, make sure to apply it effectively. Got tools? Put them to use in creating or repairing something valuable. What a brilliant concept. Think about it and follow through. Make the most of what belongs to you and what you are entitled to. By aligning your actions with the natural order and recognizing your true possessions, you can achieve a considerable level of comfort and satisfaction. Concentrate on your primary task. While occasional recreation and amusement are beneficial, ensure they do not interfere with your key goals. If your journey takes you to a port town, you can disembark to search for botanical or geological treasures. However, always remain alert and ready to return when the captain signals. Keep your eyes on the ship. It's often easy to lose focus because of minor issues. These minor distractions can quickly come back without reconsideration. Stay near the ship if you're older, as you may need to return swiftly when summoned. Remain composed through various situations. Don't push too hard to shape things your way. Offer the benefit of the doubt. This is how you can achieve enduring peace. You are in charge of your own decisions. In fact, nothing can really obstruct you. You're never truly restricted since your will is always in your hands. Falling ill can strain your health. But is that all you are? If you have a limp, your legs might ache. But you are more than just your legs. Your determination is mightier than your limbs. Life can throw anything at you, and it won't affect your resolve unless you permit it. Remember this during tough times. Embrace whatever comes your way. Every challenge in life is an opportunity to delve deep and tap into our inner strengths. We learn about our true capabilities through these hardships. Wise individuals look beyond the surface and consistently pick lessons from these experiences. When faced with difficulties, it's important not to react impulsively. Instead, take a moment to assess your internal resources. Look deeper within yourself. You might discover strengths you didn't know existed. Choose the best one and use it effectively. You'll need resilience when in pain and patience when provoked. Over time, as you practice this, you'll learn to not judge by appearances, but by aligning the right inner strength with every challenge. There's nothing to lose by valuing what you possess. Nothing truly leaves us. It simply returns to its origin. Instead of lamenting a loss, understand that everything goes back to where it started. Find peace in this thought. Whether something is taken or returned, it's all part of life's cycle, similar to how you would manage a temporary stay in a hotel. Living in harmony and embracing this cycle is the essence of a tranquil life. A peaceful life is a clear marker of improvement. As we grow morally, we break free from our inner uncertainties. Forget the minor concerns. Avoid thoughts like, if I don't work harder, I'll fail to earn. People won't respect me. I'll become irrelevant. Or, if I don't challenge my boss, he'll exploit me. Let go of such thoughts. Living without worries or fears, even if it means struggling with necessities, is preferable to a life burdened with anxiety, mistrust, and boundless cravings. Begin a program of self-discipline immediately, focusing first on the small worries that plague you. Is your child's toy scattered on the floor? Can't find your wallet? When you call your child, remember, they might not respond or obey immediately. If they do respond, remind yourself, staying calm through this minor trouble is the cost I pay for my peace and freedom from turmoil. Nothing comes without a price. Fretting won't change the outcome. Your child's actions shouldn't disturb your peace. Dismiss concerns that don't impact you directly. We should concentrate on what truly matters and disregard everything else, as the rest is trivial and unworthy of our energy. Besides, it's fine if others consider us uninformed and naive on matters that are irrelevant to us. Don't be concerned about others' perceptions. They are often deceived by outward appearances. Stick to your goals. This is how you can fortify your resolve and organize your life. Don't chase after compliments or validation from others. You are on an upward trajectory. Don't attempt to seem intelligent, distinctive, or elaborate. Actually, be careful if people start to see you as unique. Watch out for vanity and overconfidence. Staying true to what is real and fretting over uncontrollable situations are two different things. If you concentrate on the former, you'll neglect the latter. Shape your expectations to match the unfolding realities. Life and nature operate under fixed laws that we can't modify. We achieve serenity quicker when we accept these facts, for better or worse. Wishing for immortality for your loved ones or yourself is pointless. Everyone, including you, will face death, an unchangeable fact. Expecting your boss or a friend to be flawless is equally unwise. This would mean trying to control the uncontrollable. By approaching this sensibly and not getting overwhelmed, we can prevent disappointment. This is within our control. Ultimately, what controls us is what can grant or deny our desires. Without true independence, if you rely on others for your desires, you will remain powerless. Understand what real freedom involves and how to achieve it. Discover the true nature of freedom and how to achieve it. Freedom is not the liberty to do anything but knowing your limits and those established by divine laws imposed by a higher power. Understanding that life has natural limits sets us free and allows us to truly enjoy freedom. When we succumb to desires for the unattainable, we lose that freedom. Imagine life as a lavish feast where manners matter. When the food is passed around, take only a little from each platter. If you like something, savor what you have. If something appealing hasn't come your way, wait patiently. Keep a thankful attitude towards everything, whether it's dealing with your family, your partner, your job, or your finances. There's no need to long for, resent, or grasp at anything. What you need will find its way to you at the right moment. The lives of Diogenes and Heraclitus perfectly showcase these ideals, whose examples are worth following. Aim to emulate their admirable behaviors. Avoid adopting the negative perspectives of others, as these can be contagious. Don't let negative interactions with others harm you by adopting their pessimistic views. Whether it's a sad friend, a suffering relative, or a colleague who's facing misfortune, strive to remain composed. Remember to separate what actually happened from someone's interpretation of it. Remind yourself, what's causing the pain isn't the event, because another person might not be affected at all by the same thing. The pain comes from their own response, lacking thoughtful consideration. Intensifying someone's persistent negative emotions doesn't show care or affection. Staying neutral and not reacting negatively benefits everyone, including ourselves. Yet, when you're talking to someone feeling down or angry, show compassion and listen carefully, but protect your own emotional energy too. Perform excellently in whatever role life assigns you, like a character in a drama. We don't choose our roles in life. They are apportioned to us by some divine force. Some of us might be in a short play, while others might be in a long one. You could end up a poor person, someone with physical challenges, a well-known celebrity, or just a typical person. While we can't pick the route laid out for us, we can commit to performing admirably and refrain from grumbling. Perform brilliantly wherever you are, whatever happens. Let readers read and writers write. Every event has a deeper meaning. Avoid believing in myths or superstitions that ascribe impossible attributes or meanings. Keep your cool, as our minds are always occupied. They are constantly making decisions, inventing symbols, and interpreting what they signify. Rather, believe that everything that occurs is ultimately for your benefit. If you want happiness, it's within your reach. There's a positive side to every event. You just need to look for it. Happiness is found within. We often get deceived by intelligence, professional titles, awards, financial status, fancy attire, or congenial demeanor. It's essential to not jump to conclusions that well-known individuals, the wealthy, politicians, and those with notable talents in academia or the arts are consistently content. Falling into this trap is easy. The aspects of life that you can manage are what truly matter. By keeping this in mind, feelings of envy or sadness when measuring your success against others will diminish. You are secure. External criticisms or physical assaults can't really touch you. How you interpret insults is entirely up to you. Your reaction to others affects you more than their actions themselves. When you think someone is trying to provoke you, recognize that it's your perception that's being provoked. Don't let appearances sway your emotions. Pause before reacting. Taking a moment to view the bigger picture can help. Simply breathe. Accepting life's adversities, such as death and disaster, is crucial for spiritual growth. Instead of shying away from life's challenges, confront them and reflect deeply. Facing harsh truths such as mortality, disease, loss, and sorrow helps you discard deceptive hopes and attitudes while ceasing to harbor bitterness or envy. Always remain faithful to your objectives despite what is happening around you. Those seeking a righteous and thoughtful life or adhering to their spiritual practices should prepare for mockery and criticism. Often, to conform and enhance their personal satisfaction, many individuals reduce their aspirations. These people tend to become hostile towards those who uphold deep philosophical ideas and reject sacrificing their spiritual principles for personal betterment. Avoid negative individuals at all times. It's fine to feel compassion for them, but remain committed to your values. When you begin your journey of spiritual growth, some may ridicule you and label you arrogant. Remain modest and adhere to your ethics. Continue to act according to what you believe is correct. Eventually, those who mocked you will come to respect you, provided you don't alter your path. However, if you allow the harsh words of others to deter you from your objectives, you're making a double mistake. Trying to satisfy everyone is a futile effort. When we attempt to please others, we often focus on things that are beyond our control, losing grip on our life's purpose. Find joy in being the person who values wisdom and pursues truth. Always focus on what's essential and beneficial. Don't try to impress others by appearing intelligent. Lead your life with your own perspective and judgment to truly be wise. Character matters more than reputation. Avoid spending your time and setting poor examples by worrying and fearing. Particularly, don't let these fears affect how others see you. Why should you fear not being recognized or not receiving the same opportunities as others? Ignore concerns such as "nobody likes me" or "I have a bad reputation." You can't influence what others think of you, even if it were important. How does being well-liked or invited to exclusive parties really impact your character or well-being? It doesn't. Why stress about not being famous or influential? Focus more on being someone significant in the parts of your life where you can actually have an impact. You might think that without influence and a good name, I can't support my friends. They would lack access to wealth or authority. This is partially correct. Do they really rely on you to back them in this manner? What do they expect from you that you lack? If you can show me how to become wealthy and influential without compromising my values, family, or self-respect, I'll follow through. It's foolish and senseless for you to believe in me if it means sacrificing my principles. If faced with choosing between a sum of money and a loyal friend, which would you choose? Help me improve myself rather than encouraging wrongdoing. What about my responsibilities to my nation? That's the question. Are you suggesting making large donations or constructing grand buildings? Just as a blacksmith doesn't craft shoes and a cobbler doesn't forge weapons, everyone should excel in their specific role. What if someone else does the same thing? It doesn't diminish the worth of your efforts. But concerning my social standing, you wonder, you should manage any position as long as it aligns with your ethical obligations. But how can you assist your community if your ambition undermines your ethical obligations? Being a kind and responsible person is more valuable than being rich and famous. Constant compliments don't define us. Do you envy someone's rights, fame, or accolades? If their achievements are positive, be happy for them. It's their moment to shine. You shouldn't fret over not having what they do. If their gains seem undesirable, remember, you can't reap the same rewards without walking the same path and investing the same effort. It's unreasonable to expect rewards without being willing to work for them. Winning a prize doesn't mean someone is better than you. They simply worked for it. We can always decide whether or not we're willing to make sacrifices for the finer things in life. Sometimes, choosing not to pay the price helps us maintain our integrity. Some might lead us to admire those we dislike. Follow the guidance of nature. Seek to understand and adopt nature's laws by observing and learning from them. Nature teaches us through common experiences, like when a child accidentally breaks a dish, and we recognize that such incidents are just part of life. Imagine if your bowl were to crack. Handle it as if the breakage occurred to someone else. This approach should also be used for things that hold greater significance in your life, both sentimentally and materially. Often people will dismiss incidents with phrases like, "Death is a part of life, it's bound to happen." But when we suffer a personal loss, we react with, "My luck is so bad." Use this sentiment to navigate your own circumstances. Learn to deal with occurrences in life, including mortality. Pursuing self-control is a sacred goal. Evil isn't an inherent feature of nature, events, or individuals. If we ignore the essential aim of our lives, bad influences creep in because we're not paying attention, we're idle, or we're preoccupied. When we remember that spiritual enhancement is our objective, we push ourselves to achieve our best. This is how we find genuine happiness. Value your thoughts and your goals. Think about the outcomes, then act. Make it a practice to think through and study your planned actions beforehand. Take a moment to consider the larger context before you act, to prevent rash decisions. Start by understanding the initial step. Reflect on its trajectory and then execute based on your understanding. Often, we begin tasks with excitement, but when obstacles arise, we regret our choices and lament, "I should have, I could have, I would have acted differently." Imagine aiming for an Olympic medal. It sounds great, but requires deep thought. What does this goal entail? What steps must you take? What are the expectations? Does this action truly benefit you? If you're set on it, training for the Olympics involves a rigorous routine that will push your physical limits. You'll need to comply with strict rules, eat healthily, avoid indulgences, train hard in any weather, and quit alcohol. Your coach's instructions are as critical as a doctor's. Once the competition begins, the risks increase. You might get injured or face other physical setbacks. Despite your efforts, failure is a possibility. Once, after considering all your options and weighing the potential outcomes, it's important to trust your instincts. If you and your partner both agree that it's the right choice, then go ahead and participate in the Olympics with all your effort. To distinguish yourself from a casual hobbyist who just dabbles in things for fun or convenience, you must look at the bigger picture. This isn't the approach to take. Think deeply and commit fully. Otherwise, you'll be like a child pretending to be various characters without any real commitment. Without putting our whole heart into our efforts, we risk becoming insubstantial and never really cultivating our innate skills. As the old saying goes, we often see people who latch onto the latest trend, but their enthusiasm soon fades, and they drop their projects when they become too mundane or too challenging. A disinterested soul lacks strength. Half-hearted efforts lead to half-hearted results. Often people dive into projects without much forethought, only to be inspired by someone influential like Euphrates to improve their approach. You're free to choose a path like this, but first you must consider what's required to truly excel in a fight. For instance, you must have great strength in your arms, legs, and back. Are you fit and fast enough to stand out as one of the best? There's a difference between wanting to be a champion and actually being skilled at something versus actually being a champion and the best in your area. People are built for various tasks. Keep yielding to your anger and your usual patterns of frustration and despair, just as certain abilities are required to succeed in any area. No, if it's really true, then you'll have to ward off many negative urges and habits. Think carefully about the people you interact with. Do they encourage time spent with loved ones, or do they lead you astray? If someone's lifestyle influences you, consider whether it improves you or hinders your progress. Seeking wisdom is not without its price. It could lead to being mocked or losing status in your professional and social circles, and even affect your rights in legal matters. After weighing these considerations, pursue a better life with full effort. Commit to the sacrifices necessary to achieve vital goals like freedom, peace, and tranquility. However, if you realize you're not ready or capable, be honest with yourself and choose a more suitable path. Pretending to be something you're not often leads to disappointment. You might try multiple roles, from a wise person to a city leader, but remember, not all these roles are interchangeable, and trying to master all can prevent you from leading a fulfilling life. No matter how you view it, you're always just one person with a couple of choices before you. You can either aim to be more sensible and honest, or chase external pleasures. The decision is yours alone. You can focus on your inner growth or become consumed by external influences. In simpler terms, you can choose wisdom or opt for usual paths that lead to failure. The relationships you cherish reflect your responsibilities. Remember, you're not isolated. You're an integral part of the larger cosmos. Don't overlook this fact. You play a crucial role in the human narrative. We all belong to a vast, intricate network of individuals that functions smoothly. But what is your role in this social network? Who holds you accountable? Explore and understand your relationships with others. Our roles, in the broader scheme, are clarified through acknowledging our inherent relationships and duties. Having fundamental connections with your family, neighbors, co-workers, and your nation inherently brings responsibilities. It's vital to regularly review your roles, whether as a parent, child, neighbor, citizen, or leader, and the everyday responsibilities they entail. This helps you understand what is expected of you. Let's say a man is your father. It's your duty to fulfill certain emotional and physical responsibilities towards him. It doesn't matter if he is unintelligent, impolite, unaware, or holds views very different from your own. The universe doesn't reshape people or circumstances to suit our desires. At the end of the day, he remains your father, and you must fulfill your familial obligations, which include recognizing and maintaining your fundamental duties to him. Ignore their actions. Instead, concentrate on your larger purpose. Striving for balance with nature should be your aim, as this is the path to true freedom. Individuals will do whatever they wish. You can't control them, so it shouldn't bother you. Realize that nature is structured logically, though it might not always be clear to us. When you aim to act wisely and cautiously, ensuring your objectives and actions align with the divine purpose, you're not affected by what others say or do. Generally, such words or actions will seem either humorous or sad. Unless it's serious physical harm, no one else can impact you unless you permit them. This applies whether the person is your father, a sibling, a teacher, or a boss. You won't be hurt if you decide not to let it affect you. You have the power to choose. Often, individuals deceive themselves into thinking that freedom is about following what feels right or soothing. However, those who let their feelings lead their decisions are actually bound by their desires. They fail to tackle sudden challenges effectively and with integrity, which are inevitable. Genuine freedom requires a lot of effort. The real happiness that everyone desires comes from recognizing and valuing our core relationships and committing fully to our responsibilities. True dedication involves correct thinking and emotions towards the ultimate truths. Keep in mind that the universe operates in a clever and beneficial manner. Life isn't just a series of random, meaningless occurrences. Rather, it's a beautifully structured entity, governed by understandable laws. There's a divine plan guiding everything fairly and kindly. We exist in the finest possible universe, though it might not seem so at first glance. Trust that fairness, justice, and order will gradually manifest in your life if you anticipate them. Have faith in a supreme force that manages the world with positive intentions. Make it your primary objective to conduct your life according to the sacred design. By synchronizing your mindset and behavior with this divine scheme, you sidestep feelings of annoyance, helplessness, bewilderment, being taken advantage of, or rage. The concept of fidelity involves steering clear of meddling in matters outside our reach and letting them resolve as per the inherent course of duties, rather than mere unquestioning belief. Avoid trying to forecast or shape what will come. Instead, receive them with elegance and composure. Viewing things beyond your control as naturally beneficial or detrimental can derail you from adhering to a focused objective. It's common to point fingers at outside forces when things go wrong, falling into a pattern of jealousy, disputes, sadness, anger, and finger-pointing. Instinctively, every living being avoids danger and gravitates towards what is attractive and useful. Additionally, true allegiance includes adhering to the regulations of our families, countries, and local areas. Engage in your community's traditions wholeheartedly, without expecting rewards or overspending. This behavior promotes the core objectives of mankind and links you to your community's spiritual framework. Staying committed helps us handle feelings like anger and confusion, and it boosts our confidence to accept whatever God plans for us. It's vital to engage fully with the world, aligning ourselves with the greatest good and accepting the course of nature as our own. Remember, occurrences don't have emotions or intentions. When planning for what's next, understand that situations unfold as they must, regardless of our emotions. Our perceptions are shaped more by our own hopes and fears than by events themselves. Those who don't manage their emotions will often seek signs to justify their irrational beliefs and opinions. Although situations themselves aren't personal, wise individuals should respond to them cleverly. Instead of claiming victories or blaming others for failures, focus on what can be learned from the experience. Is there a hidden advantage that only a keen observer would notice? Remain vigilant and observant, as if you were a detective. This might reveal insights that could be useful in future scenarios. Moreover, there's always an opportunity to discover something valuable, regardless of the circumstances. Many people lack the creativity to see this, and seizing them often requires considerable courage, because most people tend to view outcomes in simplistic terms: success or failure, good or bad, right or wrong. These rigid categories prevent a deeper, more nuanced understanding of events, which could be more beneficial. A sensible person realizes that projecting hopes or fears into the future is futile and only leads to distress and wasted effort. It's also unwise to simply resign oneself to whatever the future may bring. Not taking action can actually make things riskier. It's important to think ahead and make plans for what's coming. Cultivating constructive habits is essential in this strategic process. You can achieve this by consistently finding the positive in every aspect of your everyday life and by frequently evaluating your motivations to ensure they are not tainted by fear, greed, or indifference. By doing so, external circumstances will have less impact on you. If praying or meditating brings you peace, continue with these practices. However, resort to seeking divine guidance only when your own logic fails and all other avenues have been explored. What causes good or bad events? We have no answers. What makes someone good? It's the one who seeks truth and does what's right. Never hesitate to give generously. Follow your heart when it urges kindness. Especially when a friend is struggling, your immediate help is essential. Don't delay. Avoid dwelling on potential problems or dangers. If reason supports you, move forward. Decide on the person you wish to be. What are your ultimate goals? Determine the kind of person you hope to become. What are your core values? Whom do you respect? What characteristics of theirs would you like to adopt? Stop being indecisive. Being clear about your identity is crucial for growth and intelligence. Write down your aspirations to steer your behavior. Clearly define the traits you want to alter, and practice them on your own and with others. People often discuss positive attributes. The moral significance of actions and their outcomes is heavily emphasized. Seekers of a good life also study the ethical impact of words, which is frequently underestimated. Articulating oneself clearly is a prominent sign of a well-lived life. Enhancing your speaking skills is an essential component of proper spiritual development. The most crucial practice is to reflect on your words before voicing them. It's offensive to others to speak without forethought, and similarly, you undermine your own dignity by not sharing enough about yourself. Many people are quick to voice their thoughts, emotions, or perceptions without considering the aftermath. This behavior is incorrect on both a moral and practical level. Important ideas can easily get lost in a sea of meaningless talk. If we allow ourselves to discuss every thought, big or small, it's like driving a wildly swerving car heading for a ditch. Speech itself isn't good or bad. It's the careless use that can be problematic, so you must remain cautious. Useless chatter is not only annoying, but it's also impolite to ramble. When it's necessary to talk, make sure your conversation has both substance and is conducted respectfully. It's easy to get caught up in mindless chatter. Don't let it trap you. Not all conversations need to be deep, but ensure that everyday small talk doesn't undermine your main objectives. Discussing trivial things makes us trivial as our focus shifts to them. Avoid speaking ill of others, overly praising, or comparing people, especially in the presence of those who gossip. Instead, try to redirect discussions towards more productive topics whenever possible, or stay quiet if the environment doesn't support meaningful exchange. Stay calm and laugh when it's fitting, but avoid the kind of reckless laughter found in bars that often leads to rude or unkind words. When you do laugh, make sure it's not at someone else. Avoid making promises you can't keep. Steer clear of popular night spots. Most activities deemed fun are actually harmful, foolish, or exploit people's flaws. It's best not to associate with those who enjoy these activities. Life is brief, and you have responsibilities that someone else might take on without your best interests in mind. Falling into bad language is something that can happen without your awareness. However, you can prevent this by choosing to focus your efforts away from unimportant distractions. Be mindful of the people you associate with, especially those who don't genuinely uphold ethical standards. The people around us often shape our habits unintentionally. We adopt their hobbies, beliefs, morals, and perceptions without realizing it. This is why even well-intentioned individuals might still impact you negatively if they fail to recognize what's truly valuable. It's not just about being around kind people. It's about connecting with those who genuinely care about you. These relationships could be with potential friends, colleagues, or neighbors. Such connections can significantly influence your life. The world is full of pleasant and talented individuals. It's crucial to surround yourself with those who uplift you. Remember, the moral impact is a two-way street, so we should strive to positively influence others with our actions and thoughts. It's the minor things that we often neglect that really show how virtuous we are. How do my thoughts, speech, and behaviors influence my friends, partner, neighbor, spouse, children, employer, workers, and community members? This is a question we should pose to ourselves regularly. Am I making an effort to enhance the spiritual growth of everyone I meet? By setting a positive example, you can elevate others. To appear your best, focus less on displaying your physique and more on maintaining a healthy, joyful body. Create a comfortable living environment for yourself. Ensure you eat healthy and wear clothes that fit well. Avoid using your physique to attract attention or to live in excess. There's no need to safeguard your good name or your aspirations. Don't fear being bad-mouthed or judged. Often, only those who lack integrity find the need to explain themselves to others. Let your conduct do the talking. Our image in others' eyes isn't something we can control, and trying to adjust it only lessens our true self. People's opinions about us are beyond our control, and efforts to sway those views only reduce our worth. If you hear of someone criticizing you, just give a smile and say, "They must not know all my faults. Otherwise, they would have mentioned more." No matter where you find yourself, always conduct yourself with honor. Maintain a superior standard, despite others often being swayed by their environment. Avoid attending events where frivolous entertainment and intimacy prevail. When you're out in public, stick to your ambitions and moral guidelines. Build your persona by learning from notable individuals. One effective method to better yourself is to mirror the traits of those you admire, emulating their actions and words. This isn't about being fake. We all have potential for greatness that just needs the right influence to flourish. Even when you meet a truly good person, don't be overly cautious or intimidated. Everyone is just an ordinary person, no matter how skilled or influential they are. Be sensible when you communicate with others. People do not enjoy the presence of someone who boasts all the time. As such, avoid regaling others with endless stories of your exploits. Generally, your personal battles and adventures don't hold much interest for others, and if they let you talk about them, they're probably just being polite. It's both tedious and patronizing to continually talk about your achievements. You don't need to be the constant entertainer. You shouldn't use negative or disrespectful ways to demonstrate your wisdom, elegance, or friendliness. Never use language that is impolite, superficial, or pretentious. It diminishes the esteem in which your peers hold you. Many individuals use offensive language to add force to their words or to discomfort others. Avoid engaging in such discussions. Walk away if possible when conversations around you turn crude and improper. If leaving isn't an option, remain silent and express your disapproval through a stern look. Seek lasting happiness that lasts over momentary pleasure. Let wisdom lead the way. Build the habit of analyzing situations thoroughly. Sharpen your ability to test if actions are truly beneficial or just seemingly so, rather than making decisions based on first impulses. Learn to deliberate before acting. Spontaneity is not always beneficial. Pause and reflect before you act on impulses that promise immediate satisfaction. Objectively assess whether the gratification is fleeting or genuinely lasting. Distinguishing between ephemeral pleasures and substantial, enduring rewards significantly transforms our lives and our character. And once, after careful consideration, you find that this pleasure will ultimately leave you regretful, avoid it. Take pride in controlling your actions. Strengthen the qualities that empower you, thereby enhancing your resilience. Be steadfast. Once you've made a well-considered decision, hold fast to it. Ignore any misinterpretations or criticism from others if you know you're doing what's right. Adopt a firm position and don't hold back from taking action. Thinking logically and manners are separate concepts that apply in different contexts. While you might argue in clear-cut terms using either-or logic in formal debates, it's tougher to speak this way with friends. Additionally, while you might want to grab the largest portion at a feast if you're very hungry, it's considered impolite in a social setting. It's essential to enjoy your meal while also remembering to behave politely and maintain a neat appearance. True self-control begins with a clear understanding of your own abilities and limits. Skills and talents mature gradually. Nothing excellent happens overnight. We constantly learn and improve. Accepting when you've lost is beneficial. This acceptance helps us advance in our moral, intellectual, or physical capacities. However, deceiving oneself by pretending to be something you're not can harm your authenticity and hinder your growth in areas you excel. Everyone has a unique role in the grand scheme of things. Discover your role and commit to it. Safeguard your ability to reason. Just as you avoid stepping on a nail or twisting your ankle, take great care to protect your mind's integrity. Rational thinking is crucial for a fulfilling life. Preserving your mental clarity ensures your well-being. Men often either compliment or critique women purely based on their physical looks. This might make a woman feel that her worth is only for men's happiness, which is disheartening because it diminishes her genuine qualities. She could feel compelled to spend substantial time and effort enhancing her looks and altering her real self to satisfy others. Both genders overly focus on managing their image and how others view them, which is detrimental. Those who pursue knowledge recognize that society rewards us for shallow traits like appearance, lineage, etc. But what genuinely matters is our essence and development. Our minds are more crucial than our physical forms. People who lack moral insight tend to obsess over their physical appearance. As a being, your primary duty is to nurture and develop your reasoning, as it helps us comprehend nature. Understand that those who mistreat you are guided by mistaken beliefs. If you are criticized or disrespected, remember that the offender believes their behavior is acceptable. They cannot perceive you as you view yourself. A person who forms opinions based on misconceptions suffers more than you, for their understanding is flawed. When an individual thinks a factual statement is incorrect, the truth of the statement isn't compromised. The error causes disappointment and pain for the person who is mistaken. Realizing this can shield you from feeling upset by others' harsh words. Every scenario has a constructive handle and a harmful one. For example, if a brother or sister treats you poorly, don't grab onto the feelings of pain or injustice, as this will only make you angry. Instead, consider the bond of family as a way to see the situation differently. Consider that this person is your sibling with whom you've shared your childhood, creating a strong, unbreakable bond. Viewing your relationship through this lens helps you maintain balance. Clear, rational thinking is essential. Sensible individuals live by logic. Developing the ability to think clearly is crucial and doesn't happen accidentally. It must be thoughtfully developed. With structured thinking, we can guide our desires, adhere to our genuine aims, and appreciate the connections and obligations arising from our relationships. It's crucial for everyone to recognize when emotions cloud our judgment. It's important to check whether conclusions are correct to avoid false assumptions. Here's an instance of flawed logic. I am wealthier than you, hence I am superior. Such statements are often heard but are entirely inaccurate. However, saying, I am wealthier than you, therefore I own more, is logical. Similarly, claiming, I speak more effectively than you, thus I am superior, is incorrect. The correct interpretation would be, I speak more effectively than you, thus my speeches are more impactful. However, one's character isn't defined by wealth or eloquence. Dedicate yourself to thinking clearly and attentively. This will keep you enlightened. Having a solid grasp on logic and effective communication is beneficial. Correctly using someone's name helps us understand them without misinterpretation. Rather than unfairly saying someone is unclean, suggest they hurried their cleaning. Avoid passing judgment before truly understanding a situation. Don't hastily call someone drunk just because they drink frequently. Acknowledge they drink often. Without full knowledge of their life, you can't confirm they are drunk. Incorrectly naming things can create false narratives, so base your interpretations on facts, not just what appears to be. Agree only with what is demonstrably true. It is better to act wisely than to merely discuss it. Avoid sharing your philosophical insights with those who may not appreciate them. Your actions will reflect your character and your commitment to integrity. Boasting about living frugally is not useful if you aim to lead a wise life. The first step is to overcome your own barriers. Consider how economically disadvantaged people often save more and manage difficulties better than others. Pursue simplicity for personal growth, not for outward appearance. Self-awareness is crucial for wise living. Many individuals don't recognize that what affects us originates from within, not from others. They are often misled by appearances. The wise understand that the source of our benefits or troubles is within us. Hence, they don't point fingers or try to prove their worth to others. In tough situations, wise individuals reflect inwardly. When complimented, they quietly appreciate it without outward show. If their reputation is unfairly attacked, they see no need to fiercely defend it. They take great care in their actions, under the impression that all is well, even though there are risks involved. Their needs and the existing conditions are well coordinated, and they avoid anything that could interfere with their ability to make sound decisions. They practice moderation in all things. Being seen as silly or uneducated doesn't concern them. What matters is focusing on their own goals and directions. To them, wise living is more valuable than being highly knowledgeable. When someone tells you they grasp the concepts of renowned philosophers, Bear in mind, it's not all about discussing complex topics smoothly. Understanding the world and aligning your actions with this knowledge is what counts. The true followers of enlightened teachings are those who put these ideas into practice. It's not enough to talk a good game. Action is what matters. Knowing plenty doesn't mean much if it's not applied. Consider the value of those whose actions match their declared principles. Understand how to adapt universal rules to particular cases by looking at nature. For example, explain why it's wrong to lie. Linking this understanding with fundamental truths is essential, showing why such reasons are sufficient to uphold these truths. The initial step is crucial as it addresses common yet significant issues such as the immorality of lying. Start to embody your values. Now is the time to truly live according to your beliefs. Adhere to these ideals as if they were strict laws, where violating them is akin to committing a sin. When you've chosen the moral principles you want to live by, it shouldn't matter if others disagree. Have you decided how long you'll wait to transform into the person you desire to be? Your best self cannot wait any longer. Live by your principles, starting now. You will find joy as soon as you embark on your moral journey. Delaying makes mediocrity more appealing. You will end up feeling guilty and embarrassed because you know you are capable of better. Stop following the crowd. Make a commitment to yourself. Opt to stand out and take necessary actions immediately. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, it is crucial to cultivate resilience and adaptability, traits that stem from a clear understanding of what we can and cannot control. This understanding not only helps us in managing our emotional responses, but also empowers us to take meaningful actions where we can actually make a difference. Embracing practical Stoicism. One effective method for applying these concepts is through the practice of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means to overcome destructive emotions. Stoicism does not seek to dismiss emotions. Rather, it encourages a rational examination of our feelings and the situations that evoke them. By doing so, we can prevent unnecessary distress about things beyond our control and focus our energy on positive, actionable aspects of our lives. 1. Daily reflections. Begin each day with a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, what are my goals for today? What challenges might arise, and how will I choose to respond to them? This practice sets a proactive tone for the day, making you more deliberate about your choices and responses. 2. The sphere of influence. Regularly assess your sphere of influence. This involves identifying which aspects of a given situation you can affect. Focusing your efforts on these areas minimizes wasted effort and maximizes your impact, making your actions more effective and fulfilling. 3. Voluntary discomfort practice. Voluntary discomfort. This can be as simple as foregoing certain luxuries occasionally or waking up earlier than usual. The idea is to harden yourself against discomfort when it's not chosen, increasing your resilience and decreasing your dependence on external comforts. The power of acceptance. Acceptance is a powerful tool in our arsenal for dealing with life's unpredictabilities. By accepting the things we cannot change, we free up mental resources to focus on the things we can. This shift from a mindset of resistance to one of acceptance involves understanding and internalizing that some circumstances, particularly the actions of others and certain outcomes, are simply out of our hands. 1. Mindful acceptance. Incorporate mindfulness as a daily practice to cultivate acceptance. Mindfulness teaches us to experience the present moment without judgment or the desire to change it. Through mindfulness, we learn to detach from our desires and aversions, viewing life as it is, not as we wish it to be. 2. Reframing challenges. View challenges as opportunities. Every hardship comes with the potential for an equal or greater advantage. When faced with adversity, instead of lamenting misfortune, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or, how can this make me stronger? Viewing obstacles through this lens can transform your experiences and lead to significant personal growth. 3. Strengthening relationships. Our interactions and relationships can also benefit greatly from these principles. By recognizing and respecting the autonomy of others and focusing on our own contributions to relationships, we foster healthier, more supportive connections. Learn to set and respect boundaries. Recognize where your responsibilities end and another's begin. This not only clarifies your role in any relationship, but also helps prevent conflicts that arise from misunderstandings or misplaced expectations. Practice compassionate detachment. This involves caring deeply about others, but without trying to control their choices or outcomes. It's about offering support and love without attaching to the results of actions, thereby respecting others' journeys and challenges as their own. Recognizing the importance of relationships and personal integrity in our lives is crucial. How we interact with others, how we handle conflicts, and how we align our actions with our deepest values define our character and influence our well-being. Every day presents us with choices. These decisions can seem small, like choosing whom to spend our time with, or significant, like deciding our life's direction. Each choice is a step towards becoming the person we aim to be. It is vital to select paths that enhance our character and bring us closer to true happiness. Let's consider the simple act of choosing our company wisely. Those around us can significantly influence our actions and convictions. If we spend time with those who uplift us, who share our values and encourage us to pursue our goals, we naturally grow in positive ways. On the other hand, if we surround ourselves with negativity or apathy, we might find ourselves adopting these less desirable traits without even realizing it. Imagine you are a ship setting out to sea. The direction you choose to sail, the crew you select, and the way you respond to storms along the way will determine your journey's success or failure. Similarly, in life, setting a clear course and choosing the right companions will help you navigate through challenges more effectively. In practicing Stoicism, we learn to focus not just on the external rewards, but also on internal growth. Success isn't just about achieving a goal, but also about the person you become along the way. Each day gives us opportunities to practice virtues like patience, kindness, and integrity. These virtues strengthen our character and prepare us for whatever lies ahead. Consider patience. In a world that constantly pushes us towards immediate gratification, choosing to be patient is a powerful act. It allows us to think more clearly, react more thoughtfully, and make decisions that align with our long-term goals. When we rush, we make hasty decisions that might not reflect our true intentions or values. Practicing kindness is another crucial aspect. It involves treating others with respect and empathy, even in difficult situations. When someone disagrees with us or challenges us, responding with kindness can help de-escalate conflicts and foster understanding. It shows a strength of character to remain composed and respectful even when faced with adversity. Integrity is about being true to your words and actions. It means living in a way that is consistent with your values, regardless of the circumstances. When you have integrity, people trust and respect you, and you build strong, reliable relationships. This trust is essential, not only in personal relationships, but also in professional settings. As we continue to live according to these principles, it's important to remember that the journey itself is as important as the destination. Every day we have the chance to refine our actions, to choose patience over impulsiveness, kindness over indifference, and integrity over deceit. Imagine facing a challenging day at work where everything seems to go wrong. Instead of reacting impulsively or blaming others, you take a moment to pause. You remind yourself of your commitment to patience and calmness. You handle each issue methodically, maintaining your composure. By the end of the day, you realize that despite the challenges, you've managed to maintain your inner peace and even resolve some complex problems. This is the power of Stoicism in action. Moreover, embracing Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or ignoring your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, but choosing not to be ruled by them. It involves recognizing your emotional responses and deciding how you want to act based on your values, not just your immediate feelings. Let's say you receive some harsh feedback. Instead of reacting defensively or lashing out, you take the time to consider the feedback thoughtfully. You ask yourself what you can learn from it, how it can help you grow, and you respond constructively. This approach not only helps you improve, but also builds respect and trust with others. Furthermore, living a Stoic life involves accepting things we cannot change and focusing our energy on what we can control. This mindset helps reduce stress and increases our effectiveness. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, getting angry won't clear the roads. But using that time to listen to a podcast or plan your day can turn a frustrating situation into a productive one. As we continue to apply these principles, we build a life that is not only successful on the outside, but also rich and fulfilling on the inside. We become masters of our own lives, capable of facing any challenge with grace and wisdom. So, as we move forward, let us remember the core teachings of Stoicism: to live with integrity, to practice kindness, to maintain patience, and to focus on our personal growth. These principles guide us toward a life of genuine happiness and profound peace, no matter what challenges we face. As we delve deeper into the practice of Stoicism, it's crucial to recognize the importance of resilience and adaptability in our lives. These are the bedrocks upon which we can build a life of contentment and strength, regardless of external circumstances. Resilience in Stoicism doesn't merely mean bouncing back from difficulties. It involves learning from each experience and becoming stronger because of it. This means not just surviving challenges, but thriving through them by extracting wisdom and insights that foster personal growth. For instance, consider a setback in your career, perhaps a project that didn't pan out as expected, or a promotion you didn't receive. A Stoic approach would not dwell on the disappointment or wallow in frustration. Instead, it would prompt a reflective analysis. What can be learned from this experience? How can this new knowledge be applied to future endeavors? By doing so, you transform a seemingly negative event into a valuable lesson that enhances your professional competence and emotional intelligence. Adaptability, another key aspect of Stoicism, involves adjusting your strategies and actions based on the changes in your environment. It's about being flexible without compromising your core values. In a world that is constantly changing, our ability to adapt determines how effectively we navigate life's uncertainties. Imagine you are planning a family event, and suddenly unexpected weather conditions threaten to derail your plans. An adaptable Stoic would calmly assess the situation and explore alternative options, such as changing the venue or adjusting the date. This flexibility allows you to manage situations that are beyond your control, minimizing stress and maximizing outcomes. Together, resilience and adaptability enable us to face life's ups and downs with a balanced perspective. They encourage us not to get overly attached to specific outcomes, but to remain open to various possibilities, always ready to take constructive action regardless of circumstances. Now, let us consider the Stoic practice of mindfulness, which enhances our awareness of the present moment. In Stoicism, mindfulness goes beyond simply being aware of your surroundings. It involves being fully present with your thoughts, emotions, and actions in a manner that aligns with your values. This heightened awareness helps you make decisions that are thoughtful and deliberate rather than impulsive. Practicing daily mindfulness might involve a simple routine like spending a few minutes each morning reflecting on your intentions for the day. During these moments, you could think about the virtues you want to embody, such as patience, generosity, or courage, and plan how you might manifest these in your interactions and tasks throughout the day. This practice helps you anchor your day on principles of Stoic wisdom, ensuring that each action you take is infused with intentionality and purpose. It also prepares you to handle any unexpected challenges with a calm and focused mind. The Stoic concept of self-control is closely linked to mindfulness. Self-control is about mastering your desires and impulses, ensuring they don't distract you from your larger goals. It involves recognizing temptations for what they are, temporary and often misleading, and choosing actions that are consistent with your deeper values. For example, if you're trying to lead a healthier lifestyle, self-control comes into play when you choose a nutritious meal over fast food, or when you decide to go for a run, even though you feel like watching TV. These choices might seem small in the moment, but they accumulate to shape the quality of your life. The Stoic principle of gratitude also plays a vital role in shaping a contented and resilient life. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a sense of abundance and appreciation. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity and desire to appreciation and satisfaction. Each evening, you might reflect on 3 things you're grateful for from the day. These could be as simple as a heartfelt chat with a friend, savoring a tasty meal, or making strides on a work assignment. This practice not only enhances your appreciation for the small joys of daily life, but also buffers against the dissatisfaction that can arise from unmet desires or challenging circumstances. Finally, Stoicism teaches us about the importance of community and relationships. While Stoicism emphasizes personal virtue and inner strength, it also recognizes that humans are inherently social beings. Our relationships with others provide context and meaning to our lives. They offer opportunities for practicing virtues like kindness, empathy, and loyalty. In your interactions, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, aim to bring positivity and support. Listen actively, offer help where needed, and share your knowledge and strengths. In this way, you enhance your relationships and build a supportive community that benefits both you and those around you. Continuing with the Stoic teachings, let's delve into the practice of perseverance and the pursuit of wisdom, which are vital for living a fulfilled and principled life. Perseverance in Stoicism is about persisting in the face of challenges while staying true to your values. It's not merely about endurance, but about maintaining a positive and proactive stance regardless of circumstances. For a Stoic, every obstacle is an opportunity to practice virtue and strengthen character. For instance, suppose you're working on a project that faces multiple setbacks. Instead of giving in to frustration or despair, A Stoic perspective would encourage you to identify what can be learned from each setback and how each can be an opportunity to refine your approach. This active engagement with difficulties helps you grow in skill and resilience, turning potential negatives into positives. Likewise, in Stoicism, seeking wisdom isn't merely about gaining knowledge, but about using it to improve your life and the lives of those around you. Wisdom involves understanding the nature of things, recognizing what is within your control, and acting accordingly. It requires a blend of knowledge, insight, and practical application. One way to pursue wisdom is through constant learning and reflection. This might involve reading philosophical texts, engaging in discussions with others who challenge your perspectives, or simply spending time in introspection. Each of these activities deepens your understanding of the world and your place within it, guiding your actions and decisions towards those that are most meaningful and beneficial. The practice of reflection is particularly important. Each evening, you might review the day's events and your responses to them. Ask yourself, did I act according to my principles? What could I have done better? What did I learn? This daily review not only helps you consolidate the day's lessons, but also prepares you for the future, making you more adept at handling similar situations with grace and virtue. Moreover, wisdom in Stoicism involves recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. This holistic view encourages you to consider not just your own needs, but also the impact of your actions on others and the environment. It teaches you to look beyond the immediate and apparent, contemplating the broader consequences of your actions. For example, in making decisions at work or in your personal life, consider not just how these decisions will benefit you, but how they will affect your colleagues, family, or community. This approach fosters a sense of responsibility and contributes to a more just and compassionate world. Lastly, Stoicism teaches the importance of living in accordance with nature. This principle is not about passive acceptance, but about aligning your actions with the natural order of the world. It involves recognizing your role in the larger scheme of things and acting in ways that promote harmony and balance. This might mean adopting sustainable practices in your daily life, such as reducing waste, conserving energy, or supporting local ecosystems. It also means living in a way that is authentic to your true self, not conforming to societal expectations that conflict with your values. In essence, Stoicism provides a robust framework for dealing with the complexities of modern life. By cultivating perseverance, pursuing wisdom, practicing reflection, and living in accordance with nature, you equip yourself to handle whatever comes your way with composure and integrity. These practices not only lead to personal growth and satisfaction, but also contribute to the well-being of your community and the world at large. Thus, as you continue to integrate these Stoic principles into your life, remember that each step you take is not just about personal development, but about contributing positively to the world around you. Thanks for watching till the end. I hope you found this video helpful, and I really do hope this video is the gateway for you to achieve a better life. This has been time-tested advice. Your support till now has been awesome. Together, let's create a path to success and peace through Stoicism. As always, until next time.